Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our entitled parents. In today's episode, entitled mom stole from me. MIL insults my disabled mom. Mother pushed into taxi queue and started a fight with someone. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled mom stole from me. Years ago, I worked in the emergency room for the registration/admitting department. Our section was located behind the nurse's station, and we had a row of computers and chairs to work from. The doorway led to a hallway which was right in front of a set of bathrooms for patients who did not have a bathroom in their room. One shift, a woman stands in our doorway and asks if there's any stools, chairs, or bedside commode she can borrow. We say no and advise her to speak to the nurse about whatever she is needing. I leave the room to go register a patient at bedside. I return and my chair is gone. I also need to mention we were in the process of getting new chairs, so we were temporarily using chairs that were kind of heavy and they did not have wheels on them. We look all over for it and couldn't find it. 30 minutes later, it was found in the bathroom. I knew exactly who took it, so I went room to room trying to find this woman. I asked her why she took my chair and why was it in the bathroom. Her response: "My child can't poop without having their legs propped up. I needed your chair." I said something like, "Wow," stared at her and left the room. "Okay, now put it back where you found it. Sanitization needed." I work registration currently in the ER, and I just had a patient's boyfriend come up to me today, ask me for a cup of water for PT, and wanted me to microwave IT, so it wasn't too cold for her. Charge nurse said the same guy asked for cold water just a little bit before that. We don't even have a microwave. That woman should have gotten down on her hands and knees and let her kid use her back as a chair if it was that serious. I wish there were serious repercussions for people who act like that. She went behind the nurse's desk where sensitive information could have been seen, and to not even have the common decency to at least put it back when she was done with it. People like that make me so angry. MIL insults my disabled mom. To preface, this happened a long time ago, and in the moment I wasn't offended, but now looking back it all lines up. My MIL is very manipulative and forceful, often trying to control my life as well since I don't have parents anymore. After her latest drama, I started thinking back to when my husband and I first got together. She called me up into her room and she told me how grateful she was that her son had found someone so wonderful. She often gives love and then switches up. We then spoke about my since passed mother. I mentioned I had never flown before because of my mom's disability. We could only drive places, and that was also limited because of said disability. But I wasn't sad, it was just a fact. Then the whole conversation seemed to be an odd pity fest about how crazy that was. Mind you, her husband also passed from an illness that disabled him, so she should know better. She said something along the lines of, "You and your mom must not have been close." I said no, we were. She said she could offer me guidance because my mom probably couldn't. I said no, we were actually really close. As if that's shocking. Like, yes, physically she had lots of limitations, but she was still emotionally there for me and a great mom. While my MIL let her kids get abused for years as young children while she was deep in addiction, but she was clearly passing judgment on my mom. The whole conversation had the feel of "I'll be your new better not disabled mom." This really does seem like the first of many red flags from her. Time to put your foot down and start setting boundaries before you go too much further with her. Be kind to begin with, but if she keeps pushing, be blunt. She needs to stop trying to compete with your dead mom. There is no competition. Be sure she knows she will always come second. Toxic, insecure people often find the flaws of others to make themselves feel better. She's obviously one of them. stating your mother's disabilities and how it was eye in her eyes to levitate her status. Of course, it would have been a completely different story had your mom still existed and wasn't disabled. Just put up some boundaries would do the trick. She done so many things that when you really think about it, it's very rude, but she wraps it in niceness, so I couldn't see the toxic behavior. Moving forward, I've learned my lesson and plan to really build some boundaries coming from me and not just my husband. Mother pushed into taxi queue and started a fight with someone. Heard it all tonight. 2 women pushed into the taxi queue claiming, "I have kids to get home to. I just want a quiet life," so I couldn't be bothered to argue with why that was irrelevant. So I just let them go in front. Another guy gave them some flack and one of the women got really aggressive, offering him a fight and saying, "I'm a barrister. I earn over 100K a year. I bet you only earn 25K a year." Jesus wept. Humans can be really toxic. I bet my money she's a difficult single mother. This really is concerning of how terribly egotistic this generation can be. So, you are late getting home to your kids and somehow it is now my fault, rather than yours. I am not seeing it, so get back into line and wait like the rest of us. GD in heaven. During my working years, I would have been extremely unsympathetic to bollocks like this. On the rare occasions when I indulged in a cab, nothing would come between me and it, except once, when an elderly man leaning heavily on a cane, clearly disabled, legged over and beat me to the door. I waved at him and smiled. That was the only exception. I would tell her, "Since you are earning 100K, where's your car? How about you paying everyone you are cutting in front of for their time?" If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.